I think we're working now. Okay, yes, we are working now, folks. It's weird. We just had some really technical difficulties here, folks, and so we are back on now. And so disregard the first video. We're back on now. This is Sherman Ray, and this is Black Success Magazine podcast. Before we get going, folks, I really encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just go ahead and hit this button right over here. It's right there, someplace. Hit the subscribe button so every time that we are going to do something new or we update our YouTube channel, that you are the first ones there, and everybody can find out what's going on with you. Okay, or what's going on with us here at Black Success Magazine. Also, you can actually check us out on our website at BlackSuccessMagazine.com. And so we update that from time to time, so very excited about it. Definitely can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. And so I want to encourage you just to make sure you get there. It's all about it's just about getting motivated. Before we get started, I had somebody write to me just recently. It's Father's Day. And from time to time, you get these updates on Facebook. And what these updates do is they remind you of things that you've done in your past. And so this particular one, we were at my restaurant. I used to own a restaurant. And we had a couple of people who visited me at my restaurant. Old friends of mine, dear friends, I had not seen them in years. They came by to visit me, and it was just fun to have them to hang out with me for just a little bit. So we took a picture, which is great. And then, so that was 11 years ago? Probably close to 11 years ago. And I posted that on Facebook and said, hey, this is wonderful. Yeah, la. That was wonderful that we got to see that. And the person one of the people in the picture said to me that I was their first business mentor. This was 11 years ago. And I already had been doing it for quite a while before that. We actually had, I haven't really told the story in a long time, but that my wife and I, we used to mentor business owners for 5 years. We did it for about 5 years. And during that time, we started out as a small group of people, like literally 4 people. And we just talked back and forth, and we would invite speakers to come in and talk to us about business, because I didn't know as much about business as I do now, but I knew a lot about motivational speaking. I knew a lot about motivating people, and I knew that I needed to have people in there who knew more than me, and that's what it was all about. So after about a year of just limping along about inviting these speakers. Now, literally, I had the district attorney there. I had city council people there. I had all kinds of people that came to speak at my group. A year later, we moved to another new location. So we were in this little back meeting room of this bar, and it was called, what was the name of the bar? It wasn't Mugsy's. It was some kind of it's a very small little bar. But we moved right across the street. That's all we did. We just moved across the street to a Panera Bread. And when we moved to the Panera Bread, which is much lighter and it's much more conducive to business, all of a sudden we went poof, and we just exploded. And that little group went from 4 people to 45 people to 200 business owners consistently for the next 5 years. And we had to split the group. Part of us met on Monday and Thursdays or whatever it was, and the other ones met, like Tuesdays and Wednesdays or whatever it was. We actually had to split the group in half, so that half the group met one day, half the group met the other day. And then we started meeting with Christian organizations that wanted to open up their meetings, and they saw what we were doing, and we thought we'd speak into their lives too. We did conferences, we did all kinds of workshops, and that was just fun. We just had so much of a good time. And that's what Facebook reminded me of yesterday. It said, they were, and so it said, hey, do you remember that you used to mentor these business owners? And I actually had a conversation with God this weekend about this, where we were and I was saying, that when I got into the ministry, because many of you know I'm a pastor now, that I gave up working with business owners, and so I'd shed business owners at one point because I was working in a restaurant, and that's what you do is you move up in as you're moving up in the success tree, you have to start deciding what you're going to do. Are you going to continue to work with the people that you got started with, or are you going to continue to move forward to keep moving up and up the chain? And I really felt that that's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to just keep, that I couldn't work with these 200 business owners anymore, that I had to keep moving forward. What a mistake. I got to tell you, you learn, you really do. I learned as much as anybody else. I will never say I know it all, because I don't. Because I look back now and I said, man, I really probably should have stayed with those business owners. I probably should have kept me working with them each and every day. I still get pictures of them. They've never been the same. Yeah, they've never been the same. There's never been another group like that. There's never been that kind of thing going on. And in my own life, it hasn't been the same either. It really hasn't. So I just kind of regret that. So I don't know why I just started with that, but I thought that was a good way to start the show. Anyways, let's do this. We'll get into the 10 reasons why, or 10 keys to help you build up your imagination in just a second. Let's take a short break, and then we'll be back with that, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, and we're back, folks. This is Sherman Ray, and I'm the host of Black Success Magazine podcast. Many of you probably have seen these podcasts or watched these podcasts, especially back in 2020. We did a couple of hundred of them. Oh yeah, we did tons of these, and we were able to speak into the lives of a lot of business owners during the early part of 2020. And so now we're back into it. I just really want to encourage you. If you've not checked out any of our videos, any of the podcasts, go to Apple Podcasts and download it. And you can actually listen to a lot of the old podcasts we did. And we talk about money and life and moving forward. And we're going to talk a lot more about that. I really want to get back into this and make sure that we're actually doing what we do. I think it's so important that business owners continue to add to who they are, because we've never stopped. We really haven't. I've never stopped, but I really want to make sure that we've got a new crop of folks that are watching the broadcast. Hey, I want to remind you, subscribe to our YouTube channel right now, so anytime that we update our show, that you can actually get to be a part of it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about 10 keys to help you supercharge your imagination. Okay. So the first thing that you want to do, okay, is change your surroundings. I mean, really, I think this probably is one of the most underrated things that we could imagine, is that changing your surroundings could actually help supercharge your imagination. So if you're used to being in a place that's dark and desolate, dirty, way beneath where you want to aspire to, then that can actually hinder your imagination. Find a place that's bright, a place. So like I used to be an electrician, and not only just because I'm an electrician, but because your mind, when it sees a bright room, when it sees a colorful room, when it sees greenery, you can see I've got greenery behind me, that it tends to start activating. These neurons start making connections. And so you want to be in a place where you just feel like you're alive. If you're a writer, especially if you're a writer. Writers generally don't write in places where it's dark and, desolate, and they feel, it makes you feel depressed. No, you don't want to be in a place like that. You want to be in a place where you feel inspired, where it builds your confidence, places where you, and so this is what I do for me, is I always have a lot of stuff around me. I mean, just tons of stuff. I'm never in a blank room, ever. And even when I'm in my office, many of you have seen my office, I've broadcast from my office before, is my office has a bookshelf behind me. And it is covered with books. Not only books, but knickknacks. Things that I've seen over the years, and things that inspire me, things that make me smile, things that bring back memories, things that inspire me to think of things that are going to be, that I'm moving towards. That's what you want to be in. You want to be in a room, so you have to change your surroundings. And sometimes, you know what that means? That means you might have to move. Yeah, I know it sounds easier than it actually is, but in order for you to move forward in life, you might have to move. So if you're living on the south side of wherever, or if you're living in the place where it has a name, you know what I mean? It's called like I don't know, the alley or something like that. You want to move out of there. You got to move out of there. Do whatever you got to do to move. It may not be the most inspirational place for you unless that inspires you to write a book about that or do a video about that. Okay, it could be you could be living in the ghetto, right? I mean, just down and out ghetto. That could be some of the place where the greatest inspiration is. But by and large, if that place is drawing you down, if it's making you feel, I don't know, uninspired, then you need to move. So you need to so change your surroundings. The second one is read. Yes, there's a book that was written called "Read and Grow Rich." Okay, read and grow rich. You can never go any farther than what you can never get to a place any higher than what you can imagine. And books inspire you. Books about people, places, things, about events. Once again, I am a voracious reader. I've got books everywhere I'm at. If you saw my desk right now, where I'm at right now, there's still books here, and even in my office, it's the same way, where you've got books everywhere. So these are the kinds of books that you need to get you going. Books on leadership, books on success, books on people who are achieving things, because that might be the thing that helps you unlock a door that you didn't even imagine could be there. Because sometimes it's just you're not thinking about it, or sometimes it's you've never been exposed to it. So why would you even go that direction? There's a biblical saying that says there's nothing new under the sun, and we can gain inspiration from that, which says that everything that we see right now was probably done someplace before, and all people did is they adapted it. Okay, the shirt I'm wearing right now was made back. It wasn't just made last week. It wasn't made just like last month either. It was made hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and it was made hundreds and hundreds of years ago before that. Somebody took this idea and they just adapted it for where we're at now, and now the t-shirt is the thing. It's the thing to wear now, right? I just went out today and I bought 5 t-shirts today because I love them. I love to just relax in them, and it's the way to go. It's the t-shirt is the new button-down collared shirt. But the person who did this read about it probably from somebody many, many years ago. So read, folks. Read about far off places that and you will, and even when you read certain authors have certain writing styles. Yeah, certain writing styles, and when you hear about their writing styles, that will get you inspired to do things. I've got a lot of books on, so I love history. So I have a lot of books on the Civil War. I also have a lot of books about speeches. Okay, I know I'm that guy. I like reading about people's speeches because words have meaning, and words have changed over the years. We speak today on the backs of the guys before us. And so I like to find out what they were thinking. Frederick Douglass, what a fancy guy. He spoke. If Frederick Douglass right now started speaking right now, you wouldn't even understand him. You may not even understand the thinking that he had. And that's the cool part about it, is you get to figure out where he was at. That will inspire you to move. And so instead of you saying, I walked it down the street, you'll say things like, oh, I sashayed down the primrose arbored gray street. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. And it just brings out a little more flower in what you're saying. So I'm just trying to get you to start thinking a little bit more. All right, let's go on to point number 3, and then we'll take a real quick break. Travel. Traveling is probably one of the coolest ways to get inspired. Many of you probably heard about people going on sabbatical. And what they do is they go off, and what a sabbatical is basically just a restful trip, travel, vacation maybe. And during those times of sabbatical, it's like a big Sabbath. So you rest, you relax, but you also gain inspiration in the place where you go to. So I would suggest to you, if you're going to travel, don't just travel to Aunt Susie's house, or go over to your friend's house who lives in a place that you've been before. Go to far off places. Go to places where you've just never been before, and you got no business going. Right? You got no business even going there. Why would you even go there? Well, it's because you are on a success trip and you're trying to gain inspiration. Go to a place like Fiji. Go to Belize. Go to Jamaica. Man, I'm from Jamaica. Go to Jamaica. Spend some money in Jamaica. Go to Antarctica. Go to someplace crazy, and not just go there, but go there on purpose. Okay, go there on purpose to take it in. To take in the place that you're going to. Don't just go there so you can drink a couple of Mai Tais. Okay, you can drink a Mai Tai at your own house, but go there to take in the world, because the world is a fantastic place, and we're only scratching the surface of what it really is. So I know it's really fun to go. Hey, let's go to party at such and such a place. You can party here in Vegas. I live in Vegas. If I really wanted to party, I'd just go down the street. Okay, but if I want to experience the world, I want to travel. You know where I'd like to travel to? I'd like to travel to Guatemala. I've been to Thailand. I've been on pretty much every continent that there is except for Africa. I want to go to Africa. You know why I want to go to Africa? Because I want to see a baboon right up close. I want to see a puma. I want to see native folks in Nigeria. My ancestry is Nigerian. I want to be there and take that in, because we only see what we see on TV. That's just not enough. We need to experience the world. So travel. That will inspire you. When I went to India for about 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. India's crazy. It inspired me when I write and I think, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for being in America because I went to India. When I look at India and I go, oh my gosh, what a beautiful place. Just a stunning, beautiful place that is. I come back to America and I go, oh gosh, I'm going to clean up everything. I don't want nothing dirty, because I don't want to ever be like India. Okay. But I learned from India what it was to love America. Okay, and I want you to experience the same thing. Okay, so let's take a real quick break. We're gonna only probably do about half of the show today because there's just so much we could talk about this so much. But we'll be back in just a second with a little bit more, talking about the 10 keys to help supercharge your imagination on the Black Success Magazine podcast. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, hey, we're back, folks, and this is Sherman Ray, and this is Black Success Magazine podcast. I want to welcome you all back to the broadcast. We're talking about 10 keys to help supercharge your imagination. I'll tell you, it's been and definitely, the places we've talked about so far, we've talked about changing your surroundings, reading, traveling. Those things will definitely do it. We've got 2 more. We're only going to do half of them on this broadcast, and we'll do the next one probably in a couple more days, okay? Let's get those going, though, because there's so much more, and we've got so much to cover. I want to encourage you once again, if you've not subscribed to our channel, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. I believe we actually still have these up on these broadcasts up on Apple Podcasts, so we'll actually upload this one to Apple Podcasts too, so you can actually check that out. Go to our website at BlackSuccessMagazine.com, and you can read some of the articles we have up there, okay? And, of course, follow us on Facebook and Twitter and X, okay? So, as I said, ways to supercharge your imagination, because that's really what it's all about. You've got to be able to supercharge your imagination if you want to continue just to be something. You know, you want to go to the marketplace with new ideas, and you're struggling for information, you're struggling for new ideas. These are some ways that can help you to do that, okay? Number 4, learn a new language. Yeah, I know, you're thinking, what? Learn a new language? Guys, let me tell you something. And I'm learning Hebrew right now. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm learning Hebrew, of all languages, right? So Hebrew, in order to learn Hebrew, you've got to start understanding the you've got to start understanding Israel itself and the Bible, that kind of stuff. So at first I started saying, well, you know, I want to learn it because I'm a pastor. Excuse me. But as you learn it more and more, you start saying to yourself, wow, you know what, this is more than just a language, and it's more than just people out in the desert. These people thought differently too. I mean, their whole way of thinking was different. And we are, excuse me here one second. We live in America. Most of us who are listening to this broadcast live in America. We're used to doing certain things a certain way because we are living in a kind of European type mindset. If you are learning another language, let's say you're learning Italian, Japanese, my kids all learn all kinds of languages. So I've got one granddaughter, she's into the whole Cantonese thing. So she loves Cantonese. And your mind moves differently. I mean, you will do things differently. So in Hebrew, instead of writing left to right, they write right to left. Yeah, I know. And so you have to start. So now you're using a different side of your brain. It's sometimes it just drives you crazy. And you have to read right to left, which is different. And you've probably seen this before on Facebook or on these platforms where they tell you to try to figure out words that are written backwards. And if you can read those words, then they think you're just kind of this special person. Well, what happens when you read a word or whatever you do opposite, you make different connections in your head. Your brain makes new connections to try to get your mind to start working in that direction so you can start seeing things in that direction. I'll tell you, this has helped me out tremendously because now I'm seeing things different. I'm not just looking at things and going, oh, that's it. Okay? I'm taking things now and I'm turning them over now, and I'm looking at them backwards now because I want to know what created that. Are you seeing what I'm saying now? So now when I'm creating speeches or studies or something like that, now instead of just looking at it and going, okay, I want to get this amount of information from here, I go, no, you know what I'm going to do now is I have to look in the history of this thing. Now I want to look in the history of this thing because the history of this thing now affects the present day aspect that we're talking about here. Excuse me. So, learning a new language forces you, one, your mind starts changing. And then number two, the whole idea of now I want to go to Israel. I want to go to Israel because I want to now be immersed in the whole Israel, the Hebrew society, that kind of stuff. And I'll tell you, it's changed. It really has changed me. If I can imagine, if you can imagine what it has done or what it can do to you, and then apply that to now whatever you're doing in life, how now you're starting to look at things a little differently. Okay, especially if you're a writer. If you're a writer or if you're a screenwriter or something like that, people are developing that kind of stuff. It's just amazing. Lastly, this one probably is very simple, and I think most people can do this. Go to a restaurant you wouldn't think of going to. Okay, go to a restaurant you wouldn't think of going to. Yeah, I know some people are going, I'm not spending money on stuff I don't like to eat. Okay. All right, I know. So here's the hard part about it, is you have to become uncomfortable with your surroundings in order for you to grow. It's just like lifting a muscle or lifting weights. Before you see the kind of the kind of structures, the muscles that you're going to have to be uncomfortable for a bit. So I ride a bike pretty much every day. And I do probably 20 to 30 miles pretty much every day. And each time I ride a little harder. I attack hills a little harder. And the reason why is because the only way I'm going to get better is if I become uncomfortable. The only way I'm going to get any better is if I start pushing myself. And then that guy who goes flying by me, because there's always that guy that goes flying by you. The reason why he goes flying by you is because he already did this. He did this a long time ago. He's flying by you because he's already been uncomfortable. And now he's real comfortable. And he wants to show you how good he is now. I just had that happen a couple of days ago. Matter of fact, I was going down this hill, and I saw this guy on the side of the road, and he was stopped for whatever reason. And bike riders, what we do is we yell at people, and we go, "Hey, are you all right? You all right? I want to make sure you're all right." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." Little did I know this guy was probably waiting for me so that he could watch me go by and then him get on his bike and then just fly and catch me. Now, I was already going downhill as it was. Okay, I was going downhill, and then this guy comes flying by me. I mean, just flying by me, not just going fast. He was going fast, and it was probably a 2-mile downhill stretch that I had already come up. But now we were going back. I was going back home. But the whole idea about going to a restaurant where you really wouldn't normally go is it helps you to start stretching yourself. You need to stretch yourself. You can't just always eat hamburgers and hot dogs. Okay, sometimes you really got to be able to say, you know what, maybe I will have like my wife. My wife likes udon, and she likes sea urchin, stuff like that. Stuff that I really don't like. But I've tried it. Hey, I tried it. At least I tried it. At least I knew that I didn't know I wasn't going to like it that bad when I first tried it. But at least I tried it. And now sushi is second nature to me now. Because I love sushi. Because I first tried it years ago. And now I eat it all the time. And it's probably my, next to Jamaican food, it's probably my most favorite food to eat is sushi. But a lot of people won't even try that. They just go, no, I'm going to stay inside my little box. I'm going to stay in my little box. I'm going to eat. You don't, but that's not you. Okay. Go to a place where you just know you're not, you probably wouldn't even think about going there. Okay. You don't think, go eat Greek food. I love Greek food. Oh, are you kidding me? I would have, oh gosh, if you asked me right now to go to a Greek restaurant, I know of at least 3 of them. And just go to them. These are awesome places to go to. Italian food, Greek food, Thai food, love Thai food, Vietnamese food. I love pretty much any Asian food, but I love. So go to places that you just don't think you would really normally go to, and try it. Just try it. Even try it just once. And then try another place. Okay? And then just get outside of your comfort zone. It's about getting outside of your comfort zone, stretching yourself, experience the world a little bit more. Okay? And then that way, when you come back, you're going, hey, I got to tell you, I got a story to tell you. I tasted this flavor that I'd never tasted before. I had this salmon belly, okay, or tuna cheek, or something like that, something that you're thinking I would have never tried this before, and it was so. And now you've got this this picture in your mind about like a tuna belly that you would think the fattiness of that tuna. I love that. Or you got to be now you can. It just gets you moving in a whole different direction. Okay. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for being a part of the show today. We will do part 2 of this in a couple days. Be sure, if you want to know exactly when it comes up, all you got to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah, just subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you will actually get you'll get a notification when we do the show. Okay, so that way you can check it out. It's been Sherman Ray, publisher of Black Success Magazine, and I'm the host of Black Success Magazine, the podcast. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, definitely on our YouTube channel here, and you can actually go to our website at www.blacksuccessmagazine.com. Okay? Thank you guys once again for being a part of the show. We will see you again in a couple days. All right? Bye-bye.